everybody, it's Jennifer and I am so excited to be filming my first video for my new channel series called Pregnancy Probs. This is just common problems people have during pregnancy and how I combated it during my pregnancy. I think I said it in the announcement video, but if you missed that, my pregnancy, my daughter will be 6 months old this week, and my pregnancy was considered high risk. I worked literally until the week before I had her. And I don't even think it was a full week. I think it was like 4 or 5 days. I worked like the whole time I was pregnant, and it was just so stressful. And because I was considered high risk and it was my first child, it was so much worse. It felt like everything was amplified. So I wanted to make this series to kind of help other pregnant people out, or people that are planning on getting pregnant soon, anything like that. If you enjoyed this video while you're watching, please give it a big thumbs up down below and subscribe to my channel. When we hit 100 subscribers, I'll be doing a giveaway. My Instagram is always linked down below so you can keep up to date with new videos and fun things happening in my life. So for the first part of this series, I wanted to tackle one of the most common problems people complain about during pregnancy, which is morning sickness. I don't know why it's called morning sickness, because it goes the whole day. I was sick every day, every night, all day long, literally until the day I had her. I actually had gotten sick the day I had her. So no fun. Out of 3 common reasons I would get so sick, and I wasn't one of those pregnant girls where I just got nauseous and it passed. I was one where I got nauseous and I got sick regardless of what I did. There was nothing to help it. So not fun. So the reasons you want to try to combat morning sickness, other than it just makes you feel gross and it's not fun, is it can cause you to lose weight during pregnancy, which is never a good thing. It can cause your teeth to actually start to degrade because of all the stomach acid coming back up, and it can cause your throat to get raw and bleed. Nothing about that is fun. My main thing that would cause me to get the sickest, in my opinion, was hunger. And I don't mean like I haven't eaten all day and I'm starving. I mean like I could eat a snack, like just a tinge of hunger, and I would be nauseous immediately. It was terrible. And of course, if you're working while you're pregnant, that makes it 10 times harder to keep a snack on you. But I would just keep, like, I don't know, some crackers, a bag of like plain Fritos, a little snack bag, something like that. You want to have something that's kind of plain but a little salty. I don't know why, but that's what helps nausea the best, is something plain but salted. So I am a CNA and I wear a scrub top, so I would just keep like a little bag of plain Fritos in my pocket, and I would just eat a few every so often when I felt like a little bit of hunger going on, because that would make me sick. It was so gross. You also want to, before you get out of bed in the morning, don't just like jump up and start your day. You want to sit up on the side of the bed, drink some water, and eat a few saltine crackers or something like that, something to put on your stomach. The baby gets angry, okay? You don't want to gorge yourself, and you don't want to eat something horribly unhealthy, but you need to eat every so often and like as soon as you get up, because I don't know why, but hunger makes you so nauseous when you're pregnant. So those are my tips for that. Keep some snacks on you, nothing crazy, just like some plain saltine crackers or like plain Fritos, something like that, and to eat before you get out of bed, which for me that was the worst part, because I don't like eating in my bed. Crumbs get everywhere. It's just not my jam, but I had to start doing it because I would get so sick. The second reason that I would get sick the most is thirst. If I didn't even really have to be thirsty, but if I went like 30 to 45 minutes without taking like a sip of water, I would get so nauseous and get sick. And when you're at work, it's no good. I hated getting sick at work, but that is what would happen to me. If I got even like the slightest bit hungry or thirsty, I would immediately get sick. It was so gross. So what I recommend, of course, for that is to keep a bottle of water around you at all times. When I was at work, I would just carry like a small bottle of water in my scrub top as well, or set it, with my purse and stuff. But when I was at home, I'd get like a big, I think they're like 32-ounce Yetis, and I would fill it up with water, and I would literally carry it no matter where I went in my house. I would always have my water with me, and I would just continually sip on it throughout the day. And not only will that combat your sickness and your morning sickness and your nausea and all that, it will also really help your baby, because the more water you drink, the more amniotic fluid you have, the better the baby is doing. So it all ties in. Drink tons of water. And the last reason that I would get sick all the time is from not enough sleep, being tired, and being stressed. Some of those things you just can't avoid. Nobody can avoid stress. Everybody is stressed. I was extra stressed because it was my first baby. I found out fairly late into my pregnancy. Well, not fairly. I was very late into my pregnancy when I found out I was pregnant. It was my first baby. I was not ready. I didn't have a house. I lived in a tiny little apartment. It was just immediate stress on my body. When you're stressed and you're overthinking things, it can trigger nausea. If you have anxiety, you know that anxiety can cause stomach cramps and nausea all the time too. So when you're pregnant, everything is amplified. I'm not saying to completely cut out all stress, because that is just ridiculous. Nobody can cut out the stress in their life, but you need to try to keep it to a minimum. And I have anxiety already. So when I was pregnant, I would get stressed over things that nobody cared about, nobody stressed about, nobody noticed if it wasn't done, like just crazy things. And part of that is, of course, pregnancy brain and pregnancy hormones. Like I don't know why, I needed Ellie's car seat to match her bassinet sheets, that matched her like car seat cover, to match her blanket, to match her room. It was insane. I wanted everything to match. And if I had found something, or if like somebody got me something that didn't match, I of course was still very grateful for it, but I just stressed over it. And there's really no need to. Now that my baby is here, I can tell you, nobody cares if anything matches. I don't care if anything matches. I just need my baby to be fine and be happy and not hungry and just content. I don't care if everything matches anymore. I really truly don't. I of course try to stick with her theme, but it doesn't bother me if it doesn't, you know. So if you're stressing over things like that, like tiny little things that pregnancy brain makes you stress over, just try to remind yourself that once the baby is here, you're not going to care about anything but if that baby is happy and healthy. That's all that's going to matter. Like literally as soon as they laid Ellie on my chest, nothing mattered anymore. I did not care. Nothing. So just try to remind yourself that it's not that big of a deal. It's going to feel like a huge deal to you, but I promise you, it's not going to last forever. Some other things is you want to make sure you get a ton of sleep. And I don't mean like just go to bed early and get a few extra hours every night. You want to do that, but you also want to take a few little cat naps throughout the day. It's ridiculous how tired you felt, but you feel so tired because you're growing an entire human inside of your body. So it's exhausting. You're gonna get tired. Just remind yourself. I would feel guilty for taking a nap because I would have stuff to do. I'd have homework because I was in my last semester of school. I'd have to go to work. I need to cook. I need to clean. I need to nest. I need to get everything ready for Ellie to be here. But just take it easy on yourself and remind yourself that you're building a whole human being, and if you are not doing good, the baby is probably not doing good. You need to remind yourself to stop and take a break and take a nap every once in a while. It's not gonna matter. It's gonna be okay. Some other things that would help combat my stress is I would get a planner. I would, count how many weeks I had left. I built a savings plan. I would write down what I wanted to get every payday. I would, plan out what I had left to do, what I needed to get, what I didn't need to do. I would work on my birth plan and stuff like that. Of course, a birth plan could go out the window in 0.5 seconds. If there's an emergency, it doesn't matter what your birth plan says. They're gonna try to save your life and your baby's life. But I would just work on my birth plan. I would work on what I needed. I would work on decorations and stuff like that. You just wanna focus on like little things that you know you can make into a list. Listing and doing my planning really, really helps calm me down. So if none of those things help your morning sickness, which sometimes, of course, stuff like that isn't gonna work. Sometimes medicine has to intervene. So at first, my midwife gave me Zofran, which is an anti-nausea medication, and I would take it every day. But after prolonged use of Zofran, and of course she gave it to me to take as I needed, but I felt sick constantly, so I would take it every morning when I got up and every night before I went to bed. I'm trying to think. I think my dose was like you could take it every 6 hours, so I definitely waited long enough in between. But after prolonged use of taking Zofran, some of the side effects are migraines and headaches and body aches and stomach aches, which didn't help my nausea at all. And then a headache, of course, just added to my stress, which added to my nausea, which added to me getting sick. So it was a whole thing. So I went back and I talked to her, and then she gave me Finagrin. If you've ever taken Finagrin, you know that it makes you insanely drowsy. So she gave me Finagrin, and of course I worked day shift, so I couldn't take a Finagrin and sleep for 12 hours. I had to get up at 5 a.m. and go to work. So then I started doing some more research online, and they make like little magnet bracelets that are supposed to help, but I didn't want to take a risk on a gimmick. So I started digging deeper and deeper and deeper, and then I found out that if you take, what is it, vitamin B6, it's a godsend. It is a godsend. It doesn't make you drowsy. It doesn't cause headaches. It doesn't do anything crazy. It just helps subdue your nausea. It is by far the best thing I found during my whole pregnancy. If all these other steps didn't work and I still was getting sick, I would pop a vitamin B6. You just take one. You can get them anywhere. They're over the counter. They were amazing. They helped me out tremendously. I don't want to say that they completely stopped my nausea because I still got sick every day, but sometimes just like the feeling of a pill going down my throat made me get sick, or the smell of a food made me get sick. Everything is so heightened. All of your senses are on 100. It's just insane. So these are not like ways to completely stop your morning sickness. It's ways to help combat it, to kind of help it get a little bit better, not so severe. I'm just letting you know. I am not a doctor, so you can just try these out, and if they work for you, that's amazing. If they don't, try to fluctuate around them and wiggle and see if you can get them to work. Next week, we're gonna go over working while you're pregnant. A lot of people have issues with that, so I wanted to tackle that as well. If you have a subject that is considered a pregnancy problem that you would like me to go over, just leave it down below, and I'd be more than happy to try to think of my tips that I used while I was pregnant. But if not, just stay tuned, and there'll be a new video next Friday. So thank you guys for watching. Please give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I will see you all in my next one.